All right, and we are live with the Gunpla Youtubers podcast, kind of behind the scenes podcast, and more people should hopefully be joining us over the span of the podcast. But we'll go through our introductions, and we'll go ahead and start with Boomsy.
Hey guys, it's Boomsy. You may know me from doing some reviews on YouTube. If you haven't checked out some of those videos, I'd appreciate it if you did. Just a small-time YouTuber right now, and really excited to get into the podcast.
Oh, alrighty, Foxy Fate.
Oh, hi everybody. Fate, you can call me Foxy Fate from my Foxy Fate Presents channel. I do Gunpla reviews as well and some other travel videos. But what can I say? I'm currently working on a project for an entry for GBWC, but that's it for now. So hi everybody.
Awesome. And next we have Access Communications and Entertainment.
It's your boy Zappa, professional stage ninja from Colony Drop Cosplay, and I run and edit and do all the fancy stuff for the channel Access Communication and Entertainment.
And that rounds us out for our current cast. Hopefully we'll, like I said, have a couple people joining a little later. They just got a little tied up. And lastly, I'm The Spicer, and I also do stuff, videos and such. So the first couple things we'll kind of go through what we did last time that I didn't end up recording.
It's okay, Spice.
I'll make up for it one day. But I wanted to go through everything that they're working on, and kind of Foxy had talked about hers a little bit, and some of the side projects we're working on. But once again, we'll go through the same list just to make it easier on me. Boomsy, why don't you start us off?
Right now, we're working on the Super Femina Axis Angel. Gonna try to get that up. Just finished the S.
Waifu.
Yeah, I have a constant waifu series, which I'm gonna get them all, even though they're bad. Or some of them are good. Just finished the SD Cross Silhouette Zaku as well, and then got the RG Sazabi, still working on that. And aside from the Gunpla for the channel, been trying to get more gaming up there for everyone, as well as another series where I'm doing like a little bit of traveling and everything like that, going to some nerdy spots for everybody to see around town or even out of town, and trying to share a little bit more about myself for the fans.
Awesome. Great stuff coming out. And next we'll jump to Fate.
Yes, hi. I was just telling you a little bit about what I did earlier, or what I'm currently working on. Actually, while waiting, I was top coding some parts of the entry I'm building. So it's a Leo NPD, and I think I kind of made a boo-boo right there. I'll see what happens later when it dries up. So what can I say? It's an entry for GBWC. It's a very ambitious project. I haven't shared with you guys a diorama thing I'm working on, but I might share a little picture of that as well in a bit. I am planning on covering the event for, like, making my own cover for the GBWC this coming October. So I'll be sharing that to my channel, definitely. Side projects, well, I still got the Nobel Gundam, still in the works. So another, well, is it gonna come off as, does it come into the waifu category? I'm not sure. But,
yes, it counts as waifu.
But that's what I'm working on. There you go. Okay. We love waifu. Okay. So there, I'm gonna be doing that because I'm gonna customize that definitely, because I'm planning on making her my assistant on the channel. So you'll see more of.
That'll be cool, and we'll inevitably start a waifu war probably at some point.
Oh yes, we'll have a waifu based theme going on in a bit.
Yeah, everyone's gonna waifu now. I want this waifu now, as it would.
You have to explain it. You got to do. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. And we've got Axis Communications, or we've got Zappa. What are you working on?
As far as the channel goes, I just recorded Gundam Battle Assault and some Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden, since most of our uploads are video games. But as far as Gunpla goes, I've got the silver-plated sumo from a P Bandai pair. I've got to build the gold 144 no grade. I recently finished the gold 100 scale. And then I think next in the backlog is an old 100 scale G Falcon with the double X.
Mm.
So I'm really looking forward to finally building a G Falcon. Other than that, I'm just waiting to build these three shiny boys to get a review up for those three.
They're very shiny. Very shiny indeed. There's a lot of turn A designs are really underappreciated, but the sumo main is different and weird, but it is cool.
Yeah, the cap hole as well. I'm hoping we get a regular cap hole high grade one of these days.
Maybe they'll make their way back around to turn A one day. I guess I'll cover kind of what I've been, and a whole bunch of nothing currently. As far as gunplay goes, I do have the M9 Gernsback 1/60th scale Bandai high grade equivalent, and I've got a Kotobukiya frame arms that I still haven't built, but right now I'm actually kind of trying to pare down my display because I don't have a lot of space, so I'm trying to figure out what I want. Going back and touching up some customs, and I might end up turning the real grade Endless Waltz Wing Gundam into a custom because I kind of hate it currently. So, but to be fair, I'm comparing it to Tallgeese, so it makes sense. I've got some video reviews for some Robot Damashi coming up. I know technically not Gunpla, but Gundam related nonetheless. And I've got some blog stuff coming up for those shitty Gundam parodies that I continue to make for some reason.
Hey, as long as you have a passion for your work, I say make them.
They're at least occasionally entertaining, Trey. I won't lie about that. So, kind of caught everyone up on kind of the ins and the outs of our channels and kind of what we're doing. I figured we'd go through and talk about the goals that we have for each channel. Regardless whether you're looking at sub counts or different analytics as far as retention rates, or you just want to try to branch out and do some new stuff. And just to once again keep it in line, make sure this is easy for me to switch between. Boomsy, why don't you start us off?
Well, I mean, I definitely want to take down Pewds if I can. No, I'm just kidding. It's really not about the subs or anything. I do it for the community. I do it mostly to make sure that people don't buy terrible kits that I end up getting on accident, and then I'm like, oh my god, this is terrible. But I mean, I will take anything as far as growth. We do have a 200 subscriber goal right now, and then we're gonna do a giveaway for that one. So there'll be a video coming up for that fairly soon, and that will be a $50 gift card to Gundam Planet.
Awesome.
Killer prize. And Fate, what about you?
Let's see. Well, I really hope I can upload more videos on a regular interval, especially videos that are Gundam related. So I'm really aiming for that, just getting it on momentum so as to really also reach out to more people. Just like Boomsy, it's really not much about the sub count, although that would be fun to see grow too. But I am hoping to do more collaborations because since working on my Gunpla reviews, people have started reaching out to really be interested in making collaborations. Some from different realms, like the cosplay community. I have a friend who's interested in making a collab because she's a cosplayer as well as a Gundam builder. So I'm really excited about that. And another guy that should be ready for a collab maybe next week. So that's something I'm really interested in because like building the network and meeting more people who are interested in this hobby is really, really good to do. So that's my aim for this year mostly.
Hey, I'm a cosplayer. We can talk about some stuff later on.
Oh, I'd love that. I mean, I'm not a cosplayer, not yet at least, but it's always been something I'm interested in. So yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely a huge portion of kind of why we all do what we do as far as YouTube and other platforms is to build that community. It's cool to see those collabs start to kind of happen and everything. It's always an exciting time. That being said, what about you, Zappa? What are your goals for the near future?
As far as goals, at least just for the channel, I'd like to hit 100. That way I can get my custom URL, and that's the only goal that any of us in our group have any ambition for, because we're small and we spend most of our time working on cosplay, and this is kind of the creative outlet outside of cosplay, outside of our Facebook group for Gunpla and for our cosplay group. So it's for the channel, we don't have a whole lot of goals. I would like to finish games that I've never finished in the past. So as far as Gunpla, hopefully I don't get a backlog more than 30 before I start making progress on it again.
Oh no.
Those backlogs will get
Backlogs.
I just bought 2 more today, so I'm not really helping the situation.
Uh-oh.
I guess a personal goal, like sometime before the year is over, I would like to do another custom job. Since I'm a straight builder, I've got stuff set aside for painting and kit bashing, and I'd like to finally get started on those at some juncture.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. It is something that, I feel like kind of happens through the hobby. People will start straight building, and it just depends on, how much time they have. And like you said, you've got a lot of other stuff going on. But I think everyone kind of gets to that point where they want to do more custom work, and it's always really inspiring to hear and see that in the community where people are kind of branching out, trying new things, regardless whether it's painting or doing other things. But lastly, I guess I'll round us out here. As far as the channel, the biggest goal I would say I probably have, and this is for all the platforms I operate on, it really ends up being a consistency issue. I get really ambitious and like, I'm going to do this and this will be great. And it doesn't always work out that way. Much like this coming week, I will probably be late on some videos. Oh, well. But I do have a couple reviews for some Gundam Seed figures that I'm working on. And I'll shoot tomorrow after I've scripted them out a little bit more. And then I've got some blog stuff to work on. But really, kind of the end of the year, I suppose, goal, I would say. My channel, I'd like to kind of get to the next 100 level, so I'd like to get to 400. That'd be cool. Don't think I'm going to make it, but, fingers crossed. And then Instagram, I think, is like 300, I think is the goal I'm shooting for. I can't remember. Facebook's 100, and I should hit that one, not gonna lie. I think I'm at like 80 something, so if I can keep going, I think I'll do it. And WordPress, that I really just make sure people keep coming. It's the really thing. I want to make sure people read the things I write because I like to share the stupidity of what I can get out there.
And with that being said, they're really good articles and they're really well written. Most of the time you would think that it would be something else, because you're already doing so much for the channel. And I actually sat down and read, a few of them myself, and it's like, yeah, this is really good. I wish I could get something out myself like that, like a news or, maybe just talking about stuff. But that's why I do the vlogs.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny thing, kind of getting into kind of, I guess, the next portion of it is that it's effectively how it came up was I had a real packed schedule for the channel. And I was like, well, I can't, make 3 to 5 videos consistently a week. I just don't have the stuff to do. So I ended up just kind of like, well, I can type up a little quick thing here and there, and that kind of grew into, I wouldn't say my main focus, but it's pretty close to on par creatively what I put into YouTube, funny enough. But yeah, I'm glad that people do read it. I'm glad that they enjoy it. Well written. We'll agree to disagree. I don't know that I'm a great writer, but I like to think I'm subpar. Outside of that, like I said, that kind of does get us on to the next topic I was thinking about, which really is kind of what was kind of your first video and kind of what got you onto the platform?
Yes, that's me, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, for me, I was like watching Mecha Gaikatsu and Zaku Aurelius and all the people that we normally watch. And I was like, well, I can do this and share it with everybody and kind of get that message, like I said, for the reviews out. And then I started with the unboxing video for USA Gundam Store, which that video looks like trash. And then the Rinko video also looks like trash. I'm probably going to upload another one for the Rinko just because it has so many views and I feel like a lot of the retention is lost in that one. But what really got me was just thinking about, like I said, getting that message out there and really connecting with the community. Like we talked about it before. We have such a small community, but the community is so like vibrant about the love for Gunpla. I mean, yeah, we have some of the elites and the jerks, but we just bypass them and ignore them in the comments. And yeah, I have no marks. I'm human. I'm not a cutting robot, and I can't file for an hour. I don't have time. Yeah.
It is, and like you said, we talked about it before I didn't record it, but the community is really unique, and I mean there are other similarities in some aspects, but it is a really dedicated, very loyal, very adamant fan base about the subject matter itself. And you'll have the waifu wars and the elitists and all of those things, but overall I feel like most people are very receptive, and especially to everyone having a different opinion and saying, oh, okay, this kid, I didn't really like it, or I hate this design, yada yada yada. But yeah, it's a good backstory. It definitely, I always think back to my first actual review, and it's once again one of the higher viewed things on my channel. I'm like, God, it looks so bad, so bad. But that will lead us to Fate. What was your first video, and what kind of got you onto Fate or YouTube?
Let's see. Well, the very, very first video uploaded, Gunpla related, was actually about a Aurora Slide decal video for my Sandrock Supernova. And let's see. Well, my YouTube channel has been around for like years and years, and I upload every now and then. But what got me into uploading a video for YouTube is really just my interest in learning more about the hobby, like getting better at what I'm doing. Like, for instance, a water slide decal tutorial was when I was doing my very first MG, and that's when I also did my first application of water slide decal. So watching YouTube videos like the greats that you've mentioned, it really helps a lot of us in the community to learn a lot. So I guess I just wanted to share what I'm learning, and from a newbie point of view, because I'm also starting. But that's it. So after that, I've had some unboxing videos. I don't have a lot of reviews yet, but I have a lot of unboxing, a lot of covering Gunpla related events, and I hope to have more reviews later on, but I guess I'm not yet too well versed, I guess, in the Gundam universe, like all the series, to really say a lot about the kits that I build, but that's also in progress, so baby steps along the way.
That's definitely how it goes. Is Yeah, you learn a lot along the way. You pick up different things, try different videos, and it is cool to see that progression through. The first video to the second video to the 50th or however many people end up uploading. And water slides are a great place to start because I'm terrified of water slides.
Yeah, I'm not touching those things for a long time.
I love water slide decals. It's fun. It's very therapeutic for me.
I mean, I'll go to a water slide park, but I'm not going to put those on my models.
Oh, there you go.
I feel like the water park is probably a little more relaxing.
I guess it's an acquired taste, you could say.
Oh, yeah, just kind of like an organizational style, just kind of a nice calming thing.
It's true.
Well, that leads us to Zappa. What was your kind of first video on YouTube?
Our first video, and our channel's not even that old. We started September 1st after we got everything set up. Our first actual video wasn't about Gunpla. It was me and my roommate talking about our favorite Gundam pilots on our pilot episode, as is the pun.
So walang laman siya nung nilagay mo doon.
It's a good pun. I like that one.
But my first Gunpla video that went up 2 weeks later was how to affix stands to the old G unit and all the modification that went therein.
It's definitely a worthy video to make.
Yeah.
Those are going back to those older retro kits is a trip sometimes.
Like, I got the first one because my dog had eaten my original one back when I was younger. And then I guess there was just like a resurgence and a reprint of everything, so why not get the full set?
There you go. Might be a completionist at that point.
Unfortunately, I am, yes.
It's a good thing and a bad thing all at the same time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have my limits, though. I can settle for one kit per series.
That's probably a pretty good, standing. Just pick your favorite, and there you go. You have a good representation. Well, I guess that kind of leads into once again me rounding us out. And my first video was actually a contest entry video, which is still there, surprisingly. Did not win the contest, funny enough. But after that, I did start doing reviews of Robot Damacy figures and Mobile Suit in Action figures. And through that, I ended up getting into Gunpla. And I think like 2 years into the channel, I started doing Gunpla. So it didn't start out that way. And definitely super rough. I still have some of those kits, and there are nub marks aplenty. I can still see them. And yeah, that's kind of really the thing is I'd seen people who were doing this, and I was like, oh, it's kind of a cool thing. I'd like to do that. And then I kind of got to talking to them and the figure community, and then branched out because unfortunately there aren't figures for every kit or for every design. So had to jump into Gunpla at that point. But that's...
You have a ton of figure like type reviews and everything like that, and I think a lot of us actually are doing the opposite, where we're doing the branching out to the figurines and some of I got some frame arts, and I think I have an Ava kit and also some Pacific Rim kits now, and I'm trying to brand out more into the channel as well.
Yeah, it is something that there's a lot of overlap. It may not be something that people will buy the figure, buy the kit you're talking about, but people will still be interested to look into it. I mean, I can't tell you how many of Mecha Kakatsu's or Kyokijin or Jabi's videos I've watched for figures I'll probably never buy, but I was kind of curious, or in Jabi's case, entertained.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is a weird I think I did it backwards compared to everyone else. But it is a fun thing. Figures, although, yeah, you don't get to build them, you don't get that enjoyment out of it. I don't know, there's a nice satisfying feel to them, and especially when you're short on time or lazy, they're a good stand-in. So it is cool to see other people kind of take part in that and jump into that realm, because it is once again a small community. But since we're about halfway through the topics I had, I thought I'd open it up to the floor for anyone who has topics relating to the YouTubes or creation, analytics, or just Gunpla in general.
Yeah, I would like to do a little quick shout out to a small YouTuber. Also, anybody listening or catching up on the archive podcasts, please check out everybody else's channel if you support mine or Spicer's or anybody, Fate's channel, and show a little bit of love to everybody, because we're all trying to get to certain goals. I actually want to throw a link here in the chat. Hold on a second. There we go. This is a little guy. His name is Amazing Knight 378. He just started. He was inspired by us and like Mecha and everybody, and he's awesome. And he just started his channel. He actually won my first giveaway, and he lives all the way in Indonesia. And I had to send it out to him. I had to send him a weapons kit, which is like $8, and it cost me like $50 to send it to him. And so, yeah, he's really cool. Show him some love. I did mention him. I was going to tell him I gave him a shout out, so hopefully he sees this, and he's probably going to be super stoked for it. But yeah, he just started. So, and to throw it out on the floor, let's see. Mecha related. Let's talk about what was your like first anime that really got you into mecha, or TV show? And we'll start with Fate, since I'm asking the question.
Ooh, mecha. Let's see. It wasn't originally good. Well, I've always loved Evangelion, but they don't really come up as mecha. Has anybody watched Magic Knight Re-Earth?
My roommate.
It's an old show. Yeah, it's an old show from the 90s, and
I'm a 90s
they
kid.
got.
It's okay.
There you go. So I forgot the name of the mecha in that. I'll have to look it up, but that's something that has amazed me. I don't know if watching Bioman or Maskman counts, but that has started my love for robots and those kinds of things.
That's Super Sentai.
Yeah. they had the giant robots in those later series.
Yeah.
Didn't
Giant robots, yeah, they do, like Power Rangers and those
Hello,
things.
guys.
From
I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's
No
Mobile Suit Hanger. Hey.
Yay.
So there you go. I guess that's what started my love for the kids. I've always been interested in miniatures. I've always thought that people who did them were pretty amazing. So when I had the chance to really start out, when I was challenged or inspired by one of my friends to start off, that's just started my journey into Gunpla. That's it.
Definitely, I feel like a lot of us are gonna be pulling from the 90s.
Yeah.
That'd be our first exposure. But Zappa, what do you got?
The first mecha anime I saw that I knew was mecha was what did they call the English Macross? Robotech. Because my mom thought it was the same thing as Mech Warrior, which I had a manual for one of the PC games. But I didn't really get into that. It was G Gundam that I saw at a pizza place that really got me sitting there and staring at what these punching robots are doing, like Street Fighter moves. I have to watch the show now every day after school.
That's exactly what the Bandai marketing people wanted. They're like, just show people fighting robots. They'll be interested. They'll buy it. Don't worry about it. They'll do it. Don't worry.
Yeah, and that super robots are always a good gateway to anything.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's kind of the natural progression. You start with, Super Robot or Super Sentai, and then you kind of get into Real Robot, and then it devolves from there. But definitely a good worthy inclusion of G Gundam. Mobile Suit Hanger, since you joined us, what kind of was your first introduction to mecha anime?
Yeah, it's also from the 90s. It's Pat Labor. Yay! I know you guys are familiar with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not actually, but we have the DVD sitting on a shelf. I've just been lazy.
Oh, it's a really cool show. I used to watch it in the afternoon. It was aired here in the Philippines, and I was still like in elementary school. So yeah, it was really nice. And then, of course, the iconic Gundam Wing. Yeah. But of course, the first Gunpla that I got was Gundam from Gundam X. Anyway, but yeah, Pat Labor. Woo.
That's definitely a good place to start.
Yeah. And the list goes on, Pat Labor, it's that Raijin O. Are you guys familiar with that? Raijin
I've
O.
heard it. Is that one of the Braves?
I'm not sure, but
Gal Gaigar and the one that was the trains that came out in Robot Wars V and X.
yeah, I mean it's the same theme.
Okay, yeah.
So these kids would turn a school into a command center. Yeah, and then it's a 3-part mecha, and they form a. It's like if you guys are well, of course you guys are familiar with Tryon 3.
Yes.
From Big Fighters.
Yeah,
So
I'm looking over at it right now.
It looks like that. Raijin O. Yep. And of course, Macross. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and of course, everyone's got a little Robotech or Macross, depending on where they were at the time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone loves those Valkyries. They can't get away with it. They're great.
Exactly.
So I guess I will. I guess not round us out. I guess I'll go next because Boomsy. I guess you'll be the last person to go. I guess my first. It's a weird 2-part answer because my first would be Gundam Wing back in the 90s, as most 90s kids in the North American region were treated to first, and then I think G Gundam came after. I think it was reversed for Japan, Philippines, and Korea, maybe?
Yeah,
not sure.
G Gundam came out first, and then Gundam Wing was the next series after it.
Okay, I knew there was a weird thing that was backwards where you were, like, depending on where you were. But outside of that, so I watched that, and I was really into it, and you got the figures, and I still remember the Heavy Arms was my first figure ever, and I wish I kind of had it, but I've got like 3 other versions of it now, so it's okay. And I kind of, after a little bit, I dropped kind of watching a lot of stuff for a while, and I got into other hobbies, and yeah, they're all right. They were what they were. I still keep some of them around, but in high school, I got really back into anime, and it started with Gundam Seed, and unfortunately went to see Destiny. But it really got me back on to going into that, and Code Geass was really the next big step after that. So really solid. If you're a mech fan and you've not watched Code Geass, I definitely have to recommend it. It is phenomenal.
My roommate can't finish it.
But is there anything about like the first season or the second?
I think it's the first season. It's the whole Yuki thing. It actually brought her to tears, and she can't bear to watch anybody else get shot down. Like literally anybody else.
Yeah, they may not want to continue the series because it gets kind of sad.
She wants to watch the 3rd season when it comes out, but She has to put on her big girl pants and finish what she started.
Easy fix. Just watch the movies because it's what it's based off anyway.
They're
The new ones that
movies.
just came out. Yeah, they actually just did recap movies that changed a couple of things for the third season.
Okay.
There's only one major plot thing I believe it changes. I've not watched them myself, but from what I've heard from other people and what I've read of the summary, plot summary, it changes one thing from the second season, but everything else is pretty much the same.
Okay, that'll shortcut things.
Yeah, it'll cut out the unimportant arcs that you get forced to go through in that show. But that leads us back to Boozy. What was your first introduction to mecha anime?
Oh man. Well, it started out with the Super Sentai. I really like Power Rangers, but I enjoyed seeing more of the robots than the actual Power Rangers. And then I fell in love. Like I've always loved space and like everything like that. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was little. Obviously, that didn't happen. But I always loved the design of spaceships, and that kind of like morphed into mecha. And so, playing video games, there's a game called Einhander, which is an old SquareSoft game.
Yeah.
And I got that for Christmas, and I absolutely just became infatuated with it. And I still own the same copy that I had like 25 years ago. And so I started playing like R-Type and Ikaruga and all those things, and then I started getting into anime, and I started with Bio-Boosted Armor or Bio-Booster Armor, the old one, Guyver, and then also Tekkaman, if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
And then I just started watching Gundam, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. All these like underlying messages about how, ugly war is, and it was like truthful, but, it was an anime. It was a lot different than watching Goku power up for 20 minutes or some of the other ones, like everybody's just super strong and everything. It was more about, this pilot's good, but he is also kind of a jerk, but this guy's cool. And, like everybody either loves Amuro or Char kind of thing. And that's really what got me into it. And ever since then, I've just been hooked. And I used to draw a lot of mecha. I do a lot of drawing and stuff like that, but I fell out of it because I got into a lot of horror art. And I'm getting back into drawing mecha. I actually do all of the artwork that you see on my channel, whether it's the logo or the banner and everything like that.
Awesome. Definitely a very similar story. Definitely, a lot of people. I feel like the answer would be Gundam Wing, but it is cool to see you going back to Square Games and just other things that went through there. It's cool. It's cool to see it start from anime or it start from video games or kind of how that works because it's a little different for everyone, which is pretty cool. But let's go ahead and open it back up to the floor. Does anyone else have any other kind of questions or talking points they'd like to talk about?
Well, since we're to tie back into what we were just talking about here, seeing how a lot of people's how their first mecha anime started, I had the idea for a couple of videos at conventions, and I went ahead through with them, even if they're not popular, it's fine. But it was asking people about their favorite giant robot. And even asking 30, 40 different people, I think I only got the same answer twice. And it was either Big O or the Escaflowne itself was oh, that's your favorite giant robot? And I was getting a bunch of other stuff oh, Megas XLR is my favorite. I got some super obscure old stuff that I was surprised to hear. Someone said Getter Liger was their favorite. Not Getter Robo, but Liger specifically was their favorite. And it was really cool to go through that little interview style video and hear everybody give such a wide array of answers rather than, oh, my favorite's Gundam Wing, my favorite's the 00. It's oh, there's actually, people have a variety. You just never get to hear about it.
Yeah, it's that thing of, I can't remember who it was. I had done a series talking about kind of the death and rebirth of mecha anime, And it is cool to hear that, you know, people still remember designs from that long ago that made that big of an impression on them. There's definitely a lot out there people just don't think about. I mean, now, you know, we're pretty much just back into the Gundam being really the main only one. I guess Darling in the Franxx was kind of the last one.
As far as like big names go, yeah, like there hasn't been like the big mecha show since what, Gurren Lagann or Code Geass?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, because even like the Evangelion movies, they're movies, so they don't really count in that category. And Eva never dies, really. So
yeah, and who knows what's going on in the movies we just watch because we watch.
And we're waiting for Kensuke to get in the robot.
yeah, pretty much. It's what's the next curveball that we're just gonna be like, why is this happening? How did this go off the rails this hard? Like, we thought End of Evangelion was off the rails super hard, but this takes the cake.
How do you guys feel about Darling in the Franxx? I'm impartial to it.
I enjoyed it, watching it at face value, and I got exactly what I wanted out of it. Studio Trigger worked on the animation or the story, or they had their hands in there, and they are known for taking things to space. And that's exactly what I got, and that's exactly what I wanted.
That is definitely it. You had to go into it knowing what it was going to be, and that's kind of why I also got into it. Was like, oh well, I like Studio Trigger. You know, we've got, you know, Gurren Lagann, technically not them specifically, but it was what they did at Gainax, and you know, Kill la Kill and Little Witch Academia. So I was like, all right, well, I'll give this a shot. And I think I'm like 3 episodes from the end, and I already know what happens. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna not watch it, but I'm probably gonna wait until I have nothing else to do. I don't hate it or anything. Just, you know, like Boom, so I'm kind of like, it's there. I'm all right. It's cool.
Yeah, I'll catch a model kit when that comes out. See what other brands outside of Bandai really do, since I think all I have are Bandai kits right now.
I'll give my unpopular opinion about it.
Okay.
Basically, when I was watching it, I had a hard time like staying focused in it because, I mean, I watch like comedy ichi and like hentai or whatever, you know, like just it, and then like even this one, to me, it felt like it was like trying to be Ava. Maybe I just have too much respect for Ava, and then it was just like very overly sexualized, which is weird because I love Kill la Kill. And then like I was just watching this, I'm just like, what the hell?
I think it's and this is a weird conversation to have, but when I talk to people about Kill la Kill, because it's one of my favorite, I love that show to death. Satsuki-sama for life. But yes. But it's that thing of, after a while, and fairly early on, the over-sexualization that really happens in that show kind of beats you over the head with it so much that it kind of becomes normalized and you get desensitized, and then it just kind of starts treating it less and less like it's a thing. Whereas Darling in the Franxx never addressed that elephant in the room, where you've got this kind of weird pilot situation, which it wasn't a huge problem for me. I did there a lot of other weird things I've watched. Like, I'm going back and rewatching High School DxD at the moment, and that is infinitely worse. It is from a technical standpoint. If it were just a pure mecha show, it would be a lot weirder. But since it's a Trigger mecha show that's kind of skimping on the mecha portion, it makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of that stuff before. It's just like, I really appreciated that they spent a lot more time like with the interpersonal relationships on everyone, and I can see where people don't like it, or if they walked in, I wanted a giant robot show and I got all this drama. Why all this drama? It's like, no, I appreciate both sides of this, but I'm very basic. I can watch something at face value, enjoy it, and then move on to the next thing, and not realize that Strike Witch is just full of fan service, and enjoy it for the actual plot, what little of it there is.
That is the exact same sentiment I have on High School DxD. I love the stupid plot, and like the first time I watched it, I was like, okay, anime titties, that's cool. But after that, I'm like, I actually really like the plot to this, and I feel very uncomfortable watching this now. I don't want to keep doing this, but here I am doing it again. Like catch up, but God, I love that. Like the plot it's such a cool world. I'm not gonna lie, it's really like I finished the first season when I should have been watching the next 10 episodes of Turn A to keep myself on schedule. But whatever, it happens. It's good.
Yeah, I was like that with both Monster Musume, which is hilarious, and Prison School. Just like it was so over the top with the ecche, and then it just like faded away, and then I was like, man, this is hilarious.
Yeah. After a while, you just kind of stop realizing it until someone else walks in, and you're like, "Oh God, what am I watching?"
Just working on YouTube.
Yes.
Hey,
What's
We
up,
got
man?
More.
Sorry, a little bit late.
Hey, Brian.
This is acceptable.
no worries.
Yeah, I went to the gym. Had to blow up some steam.
Ooh, getting swole.
Yeah.
It's important. You got to hit the gym. You can't skip leg day. I don't know other gym terms. I don't hit the gym often.
Make a turn A joke. Make a turn A joke.
Ah, dang it! I should have.
All I heard at the beginning when I got in is hentai. It's like, what the hell's going on here?
Sorry, that's me.
That's okay.
It's okay.
We were only talking about Darling in the Franxx. You didn't miss a whole lot.
Okay. Oh man, this is just getting interesting.
You picked a good time to pop in.
So,
Yeah.
well, with Brian in here, do you want to do a little quick introduction about your channel and what kind of got you into mecha, real quick, for everyone out there?
Okay, so my channel name is Rave13. That's actually my Gundam channel. I actually do unboxing, time lapse, and reviews of mainly Gundam plastic model kits. But I do have other things as well that I'm planning on introducing into the channel. I got into the mecha when I was very, very young. Actually, the first mecha that I actually watched was actually Voltus 5, Daimos,
Yes.
and afterwards Gundams.
Man, I would love to
Gundam.
watch Daimos.
Oh man, that is an awesome series. I love it. And as an adult, when I moved to Canada, my Gundam addiction started. As my first kit was Ale Strike Gundam, official.
Ah, yep. Yeah, there's always a good story starting with something with seed.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I got more interesting situations now regarding seed, especially with my crush.
Yeah, going back and rewatching Seed. Been listening to it's a Gundam podcast, and they're doing that. So I was like, well, I want to know what they're talking about. I've watched it before, but it's been a couple of years. And yeah, those first 10 episodes, they're not bad. But Kira does he does his Kira thing, He does the Jesus moment, and then he does the scream, and then a Jesus moment and scream, and then Lacus shows up and he does another scream, and something that I totally forgot existed until I rewatched it. None of these ships have locking doors, apparently. Like, it just doesn't exist. People leave the room whenever they want. It happens. There's no prisoners.
Yeah, wow. Actually, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, no, it only comes up like 2 or 3 times in the first 10 episodes, but no one has like these military ships. They're super expensive because it's not just the Archangel.
Yeah.
Cannot lock anyone in the room.
Wow. Just wow.
Universe with no locks.
Oh, well.
Hashtag where are the locks.
Hey, Spicer, jump into the Discord chat and show everybody what we're laughing at.
Oh, man, I'm looking at Hirayamato. When did he turn into Hero Yu? What the hell?
Very accurate. This is the Kira does things. He fights people. He screams. Fights more people. screens again.
Kira Yamato for Smash.
Yeah, where is that hashtag?
Make it happen, Nintendo. That and Bowsette.
See, that's what we need in the story is Bowsette and Kira. That's what he's screaming about.
Yeah. You know, one thing I do want to see when it comes to Gundam Seed is for them to release the Gundam Seed MSV, like the whole series with the Astray line. That's the one thing I really do want to see.
So that goes into a good segue that we can talk about. Basically, there's tons of kits that we haven't seen, and you know, Bandai is either gonna release a crazy P Bandai if everybody wants it down the line, or they're gonna release like a Re 100 that kind of nobody wants, but then we want it anyways. So, what's like the one of those kits that you want to see from a series that you haven't really seen yet? Either it's been made and it was terrible, or you want to see a rework of it as a master grade, real grade, or whatever your favorite grade is.
And actually, with this, let's go ahead and let Charlie start off so he can intro himself as well, because he just popped in.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes,
yes.
sir.
Thank you.
Loud and clear.
This is really new to me. Yeah, still have this stage fright thing, but
No worries, you know, do you?
You are with Gundam Family.
Early 426 on YouTube. That's also the name of my channel. I've started like doing Gunpla reviews of about 2 to 3 years. Also, recently I've been trying to get into like other figurine stuff like SHF, but it's still a start. And
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We were talking about that a second ago of Gunpla YouTubers kind of getting into figures or vice versa, and yeah, there's a lot of overlap there.
yeah, so trying to get into like figurines, but I'm still like waiting for other products to go. And yeah, just trying now new stuff and still making reviews time to time and try to do different stuff or try to do what other YouTubers or not other YouTubers but other reviewers tend not to do, like try to focus on Premium Bandai stuff if possible, if not just my typical stuff. And like thanks to the Facebook page, I've actually met a lot of good people, learned a lot of new stuff, so yeah, I'm enjoying the situation.
Awesome. It's definitely a good start in kind of looking at your channel and kind of watching some of the videos. It is cool to see people bringing back those Gundam Age kits because kind of undervalued. There's some really cool kits out there for that.
I know especially Gundam Age, I will have to admit the anime wasn't as well, taken to many people, but still, at least those who tried the kits, I think they at least know that the quality of the kits were really, really good at the time, or even today.
Yeah, it is like there have been big steps made from the Gundam Age kind of time frame when kits were made, but they're really solid for what they were, and overall, I mean, the designs were pretty solid. There's some goofy ones in there, but they're really nice.
Most of them, like I think, like 80% of them are pretty good. The rest of 20 are kind of, still works.
Yeah, and out of kind of the kits you've built, and kind of leading back to kind of what Boomsy was saying, what kit or what suit's not been made a kit that you'd like to see, or what's one that you'd like to see remade to today's standards?
From Age or just anything?
Just anything.
First, like if there's a kit I want to see that doesn't actually have a kit yet, it would be like number one would be the Gundam Mudrock in HD form or Master Grade form, either way. I'd be happy to take those, and I'm kind of waiting for this to happen in Premium Bandai, but maybe the Hakushiki Kai and then the Hakushiki Kai mass production type would be the case.
Are those the ones with like the elongated like
Yeah.
xenomorph looking head?
Oh yeah, it's the Hakushiki with the long kind of head sort of thing.
Yeah.
Three would be my main thing. Yeah,
Definitely good picks. The Mudrock, surprisingly, for being kind of it almost has kind of like a cult following to it. You don't really see it in a lot of different forms.
It was made in the G-frame figurine. Of course, it's kind of hard to get these days, but yeah, I'm just glad that it's getting like a little bit more attention than it used to be.
Yeah, I remember way back when I kind of was still early on YouTube and messing with mobile suit and action figures and customs and stuff. People had said, "Hey, do a Mudrock custom," and I never got around to it because I'm not that inventive. But yeah, a lot of people really show love for that kit. Alrighty, and we will go ahead and jump into Brian, what are your thoughts on this?
About new kits or remakes?
Yeah. What suit's not been made, or what suit would you like to see remade to today's standards?
I want to see the Providence Zaku in the Gundam Seed line. That's the one that I actually want to see made. Actually, the whole Zaku Warrior line in the Seed series, it will be really nice to see a revival versions
That's
of
actually
the Seed.
Hmm.
I know a lot of people doesn't like Seed, but that's how I fully got into the hobby. So it will be really nice to see some grunt units that are up to date.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
definitely
can appreciate that.
Mhm.
yeah.
Or like the Seed kits were kind of like they felt like they were very rushed made. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because I had asked the Robot Damashi group on Facebook kind of a similar question of, what line or like what series would you like Bandai to go back to and try to revamp, because the Robot Damashi seed figures are hit and miss. Some of them are really good, and then some of them, it's like, what happened? Like, infamously, the Strike's head's probably the stupidest head sculpt of anything I've ever seen. It's awful. But yeah, no, the seed kits, because there's such like a vast universe of design for seed Destiny, the offshoot storylines and everything, that there's a lot to play with there.
And if you just make like a base like Zaku Warrior, that's just an easy remold to have, all, 13, 17 different variants of it. Like, I know I just make up a number, but that doesn't mean I don't appreciate a few of those.
Yeah, I mean, you could even just, sell it in a couple of base colors, make 1P Bandai, and then just sell the rest. Like, the actual packs is accessory packs, kind of like they did with the tilt rotor.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of, shitty, but at the same time, like, like you said, if there's 17 different variants, I may only like 3 or 4, and, it'd be easier to do it that way and get the custom color scheme you want.
Yeah, and especially if you start selling those packs separately too, then that's just, more work for custom builds.
Yeah, and the way kind of they've been pushing build fighters, build divers, all the build packs and all that, I think that would make sense.
Weapon sets from IBO.
Yeah, it's a very similar concept.
Yeah.
Just kind of better, because some of those had accessories that have been nice to have with kits. Like, why on God's green earth did they throw one Vidar hand in with a set of weapons? Like, that one piece was too hard to put on the runner. God, Bandai, why you do this? All right, Zappa, same question to you.
Well, you'll see in the chart that I already did a video about this, but like, genuinely, I do really want to see a high-grade Capul, and there's, little to no reason why we shouldn't get it sometime soon. But, like, just to really building off that, I want Corrin's Capul. The red one with the big smash.
Yeah, it was the mallet thing.
Yeah.
You see one soon, or at least the base Capul, and then work their way on making variants, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. You get a high grade, UC Capul, the blue one from Double Zeta. It's like the Seed Zaku. It's one kit that you can reprint with a couple of variants, and Bandai prints themselves a nice little stack of money.
Yeah, they have their own money machine at that point.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I always say on Facebook as well. Well, everything will happen eventually, so I'm pretty sure it will happen. It's just not sure if it'll happen when we're alive.
Yeah, it might be 90 years from now. We'll see.
One of these days we'll get that Tequila Gundam.
Oh, please,
actually,
God, one
yeah.
day soon.
Actually, when Build Divers was like a new thing, and then they had in the hobby show they showed two silhouettes of like two Gundam kits. I legit saw one of them was the Tequila Gundam because that was the day where the episode where the Tiger Wolf and the Tequila Gundam fought each other.
Yeah.
I was legit thinking that that's one of the silhouettes was Tequila.
Yeah, like why is Build Divers lying? Why are you telling me that it's based on the Tequila Gundam model, but there's not one?
No, we're just not that far into the future yet.
Oh, okay. That's what happened. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it like another 30 years when G Gundam really hits its stride.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get those fans in, man.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it'll be like Dragon Ball Super times 3 Ultra Max or something. And they'll be like, oh shit,
Dragon Ball
everyone loves
Super, the final.
But it won't be the final.
Or they think it's the final.
Yeah, they've frozen Toriyama at this point to bring him back later.
Like Disney?
Yeah. Same thing.
Investments. They freeze everybody and like from the staff.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, we're gonna have a board meeting. It's gonna be really cold, but don't wear a jacket. I guess I'll kind of round us out, and then we'll hit some of the people we've got on mute. I'm not sure if they've got something else going on or not. I don't know. That one's a real hard question. But honestly, if I had to say, I would really like a new master grade, or I guess just a master grade, of the Wing Finis, just the base version. Because that is still probably one of my favorite designs.
Actually, that was one big question for me as well. Because when Build Fighters it was out, and I actually really liked the base, the Wing Gundam base. And I was actually hoping to see that variant, but instead they went with the the one that only had like a few minutes of the master grade. I was like really odd.
Fenice
something or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it would be really like there are a few parts and everything, but that whole asymmetrical design is just so unique and cool. And Fellini's one of the coolest characters in the show. But yeah, that would probably be what I would have to pick. What about you, Fate? Not sure if she's got something going on or not. Said.
Yeah, she's muted at the moment. I guess I can go.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what you're thinking.
Well, going back to the Tequila Gundam, I think it would be awesome if they would do a G Gundam series in the new SD cross silhouette. Like, just make a line of that.
Oh. Yeah, that would be something.
Fitting place for that, actually.
Yeah, and then as far as like kits I want to see, I really want to see a new design like RG Golf, because I absolutely love that kit. And master grade wise,
they did tease us with those actually.
Yeah, I remember. And then master grade wise, I think I just want to see more kits that aren't very popular in the big Gundam world. It feels like they do like the Pokemon rule, like they just print whatever's popular and then they make that for the master grades. I want to see more kits that are not so popular and coming, to the master grade series. Like maybe a new Jinx, or even the Zaku line. Like I would love to see a new Zaku line at 3.0, and just that's pretty much it.
What about a master grade G Savior?
Everyone stays quiet.
It'll be a P Bandai.
I think that's like one thing like Bandai would ignore. It's like they would be like, what? What's that?
You know that guy that was in Build Fighters for 5 seconds?
Nah, see what they'll do is they'll kind of do the opposite of a P Bandai, where it'll be super cheap, but they just won't market it at all. So people are like, what is this? When did this come out?
I will be screaming from the
Prototype.
rooftops.
Make a prototype, show it in the hobby show, and then never release it.
So Zappa's just going to be the main force behind this marketing campaign for G Savior.
I have a squad of people that also support G Savior. I won't be alone.
All 10 of you.
Yes, all 10 of us.
Mental note. Foxy, what kit would you like to see brought back or kind of revamped or just kind of given treatment?
Yeah, I was just listening. I was actually looking online if there was any. Is there an MGK Kshatriya? I wouldn't be.
Nope.
Or
No, actually,
nope.
I believe there's other
I would love
you know,
to see that though.
are other
So
you know what brands of it.
So there's
Probably
no MG of that.
Probably a fixed figuration, something.
Or like an MG. Is there an MG Gushon? Like the big chunky one from IBO?
Full
Is it
city
really
more
like
less
that?
But no.
In
There's
Full
a 1/100
mechanics.
scale, but it's not a master.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a.
IBO didn't get master grade.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Full
either
mechanics,
1/100 no
1/100
grade
scales.
or full mechanics.
I
It's
would
like Reborn's
love to
100,
see
basically.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
It's so big and chunky. So to those kinds of kits.
Which would be kind of nice because, like, I don't know, probably just my opinion, but I don't think the Guxion or the Guxion Rebake or the Guxion Rebake Full City have gotten any of the proper love because all their kits are kind of not great.
But yeah, the HG version was like, I was kind of like mind blown by the amount of stickers of it.
Yeah, it was not good. But it happens. The Kshatriya would be cool, but it would be massive.
Yeah.
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 It should
Wouldn't
be bigger
that be
than the Suzabi.
amazing?
Yeah, I think.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Yes.
It definitely would be, I'd assume. And
Yep,
that
yep.
will drive us into the Mobile Suit Hangar. What would you like to see?
Okay, so maybe I'll just give one kit per grade, I guess. I would love to see an HG Taurus, a transforming type, you know.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yes.
So since we already have a Leo, I think it's time to get either a Taurus or an Aries HG kit.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for the real grade, I would love to see a Gundam Leopard Destroy real grade. Since again it was my very first kit and I really missed that kit. And for the master grade, let's see. I think one of the I know you guys are familiar with those Gundam Seed no grade kits, 1/100 kits. The either one of those, the Verde Buster, Nebula Blitz, something like that.
Yeah, and Nick's Providence and stuff. Yeah.
I've never seen master grade kits of those kits. I think those are from the MSV line. Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
all
they're
sorts
from
of side
Stargazer, I think.
story.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, for the perfect grade, I think it's really nice if we would have let's see, a God Gundam perfect grade.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
Time for LEDs.
For all
All
the
the
G Gundam
LEDs.
fans, right? Exactly.
I can't imagine the price if they made a gold version out of it.
No, nobody would buy it because you have to plate that thing in gold, and they're not going to undergate that much.
Now, see, they either have to back down super hard or double down and just make it entirely out of gold. Not plate it, but at 24 karat gold. They'll only make like 2, and they'll sell eventually.
You can win them on the on that that scratch card giveaway for like the year 2020.
Nah. The winner of the World Cup will get a discount on it, and that's it.
And
That's as cheap as it gets.
Zero articulation. Build only.
It'll have like 3 points of articulation. Only 3. So that, I guess, kind of gets everyone their answer on that one. We'll open the floor to another topic because I know Brian had a couple things he wanted to talk about as well. And then we'll start kind of rounding us out.
Okay. A little bit nervous about this subject myself. I want to talk about the Gunpla community itself. It's
Okay.
Stepped on.
I run my own Gunpla group in my area, and I kind of got screwed over. Yeah.
Oh,
Charlie
no.
knows a little bit about it, but I can't go much into the details there. But some of my work had been monopolized. I prioritize. I actually run the group as for fun, for everyone to enjoy, have fun, relax, and enjoy. And I prioritize on the community, but some people see dollar signs, and I trusted the wrong person, and I ended up paying the price.
That's not good. That doesn't
Yeah,
sound fun at all.
No, that's not
it's
cool.
something a little bit serious. I was a little bit hesitant talking about it. I can't even give out much information. But overall, what I'm actually doing, that's the bad side, which I'm going to set aside. But what I'm actually planning on doing regarding the community that I've worked hard on is I'm actually in the process of converting it into a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's due to the fact that I see Gunpla as something that actually helped out a lot of people, and I mean a lot. And I value Gunpla. I'm passionate about it, and I've seen the good things that it had done to people. I've actually held Gunpla meetups once a month, and I've seen people who showed up the first time who are a little bit of a recluse, and they became more open as the time passes by. And that made me, I want to help out other communities as well, other people. That's the reason why I want to convert my group into a nonprofit organization to just spread the joy of Gunpla.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
That's fantastic, dude. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And is there any other groups out there that had the same plan as me?
As far as
Not
going non-profit or
Nonprofit and focusing on the community rather than businesses.
I mean, I think there's. I mean, I know at least here in Texas, each major metropolitan area has like someone or a small group of people who organizes events and stuff. And they'll host them at like the hobby town or something that one guy works at, or someone knows someone at another hobby town or something. But as far as it's kind of a weird kind of twist, I guess. But I actually don't know of too many people who are doing it for profit. I mean, at one point I had thought about looking at classes, but of course we'd operated at a loss, so it wasn't anything that I was looking to do as a feasible business, because I don't think that there's really the demand there for that. But as far as like a big organization, I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's one. This nonprofit actually will help out a lot of people. I can set up events in malls to be able to do fundraisers for specific individuals who have some problems that needs financial support, or some funds for other countries who experience disaster. That's some of the things that I actually really do want to do. Call it call it melodramatic, but I was raised by my family, and this is the best way I can actually give back to the community.
Yeah, that's like a super admirable thing. I mean, you don't really see a lot of. I mean, there are people who are charitable in the group, and we're all very open and very accepting of when people want to talk about things. But it is really kind of refreshing to hear about kind of an organization or an individual going about that. And props to you, man. That's really cool.
It's something that I actually do want to spread to other communities as well, where they can actually do the same thing that I'm planning to do, so they can actually give out to the community. And I just shared some pictures on the previous meetup, and it was almost 30 people attended the meetup that I had for this month. Yeah. And I'm actually setting up a tournament on the next meetup, and I already got backing from a couple of businesses. Even though I experienced some setbacks, I still got support, thankfully.
And that's the important thing is you got to keep moving and keep following your ideas and your goals.
Yeah, true. And for me, my priority is just to have fun, relax, and enjoy. And this is what I tell my members of the group: is I want you guys to have fun and let me deal with the headaches. And I've been dealing with the headaches.
Well, yeah, there you go. That's what it's about. Yeah, it's about the community, and there will be setbacks, unfortunately, and there will be people who are not as nice as others. But it's good to see that continue.
Yeah, sadly, I do want to actually tell the world who they are, but I don't want to. I don't want to be that type of person.
Yeah, that might not be the best thing to do.
No. I'm just keeping my mouth shut on. I just want people to know that this is what happened. This is my plans, and I just want everyone, if they think that they can contribute to the community, they should go ahead and create an organization to help out.
Definitely.
Yeah, but then the other subject that I do want to ask is like, why do some people, like some members in our community, just loves to hate on other people? Like, I've seen people trolling on other people's work. I just sometimes I don't understand.
There's always people like that, but like for me or what my friends told me about these kind of weirdos is that number one, it's that they're not really into that thing. They're just here to really just troll because there are people literally out there who enjoys like teasing or bugging people. Number two is just not the best term to say, but like, just feeling salty because have or buy or make, so they feel salty. So if they can't have it, so they're trying to make it the owner feel bad in a way.
Yeah. Sometimes I try to understand them.
I actually had a problem just like that a few weeks ago. Actually, about a month now. I was at a convention and I got something signed by a death metal singer / wrestler / voice actor from Gundam Age.
Oh, triple job.
Yeah, and like he's not listed as a voice actor, and he's barely listed in the credits. So when I got to him, it's like he appreciated every word I'd say. It's like, I like your work, and he's like, oh my god, it's great. So I posted a picture of the signed Gunpla manual, and somebody was incredibly discouraging about it, so much so that other people brought complaints to me, the moderator of my group, about this guy complaining. And it's like, really, I have no basis for why he was being so salty about the whole situation. It's like, hey, I'm excited about this thing I got signed. No, you own a piece of trash now, throw it out.
Well, I mean,
It's sad.
well, there are people like that. I mean, keep in mind, there's that famous guy called Sweeton, or AKA Charlie Kim or Charles Kim or something like that, and he's still out there, which is a famous troller slash scammer, I believe now. So yeah,
Oh, yeah. Actually, another thing is there was this one guy that actually went from group to group doing a market research survey that he actually got a lot of people mad.
Somebody told me about him, and I had just approved him like 3 hours prior, and he's like, "Nope, I'm gonna nip this problem in the bud immediately."
Yeah, I just find it interesting, very interesting with some of those guys.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, and especially as someone that, almost to a fault, I've always, on a lot of other projects and things I've worked on, I've always kind of looked at the financials of everything before I even look at, what else everything is. I've never really had that with Gunpla or really most anything related to what I do with YouTube, or any other platform. And it's weird it's not weird, but it's interesting to see those people pop up who have either really negative ideas that are still in these groups and participate for some reason, even though they kind of hate it, or these people who are doing it purely for a financial gain, when at least for the people in the community, it's fairly obvious that, yeah, there's a few people who can get by on like YouTube, but as to whether that's a long-term viable method is still up in the air. So it is weird seeing like market research, or just people troll for, it's like they're here just for that reason, kind of like Charlie said, is that's the only joy they get out of it, because they don't get joy out of a lot of other things.
Yeah,
so.
that's really sad. Really sad.
Yeah, I never really understood it. I have a quick story about that. We went camping like 2 years ago, and one of my friends, actually a really good friend, brought another friend because she was like, "Oh yeah, you like to meet him? He's cool. He's in the Gunpla, all this stuff." And like when I met him, I'm like, "Oh, cool. Another Gunpla. We're all usually pretty chill and always supporting and blah blah blah." Well, this guy was like talking down my kits. At the time I was doing like out of the box and just panel lining kind of thing. I was like not really getting into painting and like really heavy mods and weathering and all that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I do like metal pegs and damage and all this stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool, let me see some of your stuff." And then he didn't have any. I'm like, if you do that stuff, the first thing you want to do as a builder is show everybody to get the support and get critique and feedback. And then like throughout the whole entire weekend I had to spend with this guy, he's just like talking down about like other builders and like calling people trash and all this stuff. And I'm like, let me see your kits when you get home. I'll add you on Facebook and blah blah. And then like he never added me, so I messaged him. I'm like, "Hey, I want to see your kits." And I didn't understand it. Like, if it's not something you do, don't try to impress somebody with it and make it toxic. Like he was very toxic to me. And it's like, I don't understand the toxicity in some people that just like, they get the enjoyment out of trolling or crapping on somebody's kits or anything like that. It's our builds. We spend, our money, or your parents' money if you're younger, on these kits. And, if you want to build it with tearing it off the runners or your fingernails or whatever way you want to build it, that's up to you. And I never criticize anybody. The only thing I criticize is when Bandai, takes our money and they give us, like you said, the Vidar with one hand. And it's like, what the hell? He has like 20 weapons and you give me one damn hand?
They give us a Tristan.
God, the Tristan. Funny thing is I actually got my Tristan right beside my laptop right now.
Oh, I've built a Tristan too, but their choices in that were not the best.
Yeah.
To even review
There's
that, because
potential.
just for the reactions, I was scared to even review or say anything positive of it. But I tried. Well, it was a mess.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that they do a Tristan revive in the future.
Well, actually, regarding about that, this is something I heard from someone in Japan who has a friend who works in Bandai's division. Not sure if this is like confirmed yet, but they are planning on new master grades or like 2.0 master grades regarding from the Pocket of War series. So like the Alex, for example.
Ooh.
And this is happening or even confirmed, but he did kind of mention to me like that. So if it happens, then like heck, even for the HG UC Alex could get a revive, and maybe the Tristan could get one, maybe.
Maybe.
Wow. That's
Well, to be honest,
sure.
despite the kit, in terms of looks, I really love how the Tristan actually looks like. So I really can't say much about it.
Yeah, Tristan is. I've heard from someone. It's a love and hate relationship for Tristan.
Definitely makes a better statue than it does a manipulatable, articulated model kit.
Agree. Yeah.
I would, oddly enough, I would absolutely believe they're gonna go back and do a master grade for War in the Pocket. Bandai is really weird at being able to like see a pattern in one thing and they do it in something else. So they're actually
don't want to be too obvious, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think anyone would be like, "Oh my god, this is crazy," because the Alex Gundam is really high up there as far as people enjoying it and liking the design. But Robot Damashi just came out with theirs, and they made a huge deal about it. Same thing with the Zaku 2 Kai. They haven't come out like Kempfer, but they did the Cold District. They did the Blue.
Hygog as well.
Yeah, the Hygog. Yeah. So I don't know why there's this huge surge in War in the Pocket's popularity. Not that it's bad or anything. It's just kind of weird. But I could definitely see it.
Is it coming up on some kind of anniversary?
Actually, I don't know. Let me look that up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the details on those.
Well, it's going to be interesting with this upcoming new kits. Now, I'm actually looking forward to another kit, the Moon Gundam.
I went looking for one today, and it's like, no, it only came out this week. It's like, oh.
Yeah, my
had a long week holiday, so we're like 2 weeks late already.
yeah, I'm actually like my supplier only got 2 pre-orders of some more for me.
Well,
hopefully.
It should be around for a good while. It looks like it's worth its price tag.
Yeah, apparently there's
what
no
I've heard is that no stickers.
This is gonna sound weird, but this kit is the Gundam Age of kits for me. Because I was talking a bunch of trash before it came out because it's like, this looks stupid and I hate it. And then it came out and I was like, actually that looks kind of good. And then I watched some reviews. I was like, oh wow, this actually is good. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna have to eat my words on this and eventually pick it up.
Yeah, as much as I am interested in it, but also there's the Vargul also coming out. So I'm actually on the point where which one should I get, the Moon Gundam or the Vargul? So I'm still still thinking at the moment.
Does the Vargul come with that dope ass backpack?
Like the one that the Sazabi has?
No, the one that the Moon Gundam has.
No, it's basically the base of the Moon Gundam.
Well,
the
there you
Sazabi
go
style
right
backpack.
there. You get the one with the moon on it.
That was the thing that actually the fin funnel system is actually what bothers me the most about it.
It's a very unique and different design, and it's kind of used in a different way than most funnels that we've been seeing.
Yeah, and after watching a couple reviews and seeing that those are kind of, you can change the pattern and change the way it sits on the backpack, I'm a little bit less apprehensive about it. And seeing that they're all molded in the right plastics and not stickered or anything like that, I feel a lot better about that now.
Oh yeah, I mean, in the manga, I'm just surprised that they just went to like Moon Gundam directly, in terms of the kit, instead of like showing the actual owner of the Moon Gundam's head and backpack.
Yeah, I don't know, they do some weird stuff sometimes. It's just like, hey, here's a
In
kit.
the in the manga, it was only shown like a few like sections of the manga, so I can still see why, but it's kind of like odd that I haven't read the manual, but I hope the manual does like show some or show some information regarding on that.
I'd imagine they usually have the little like write ups. I'd assume they would, hopefully, maybe.
Should.
Fingers crossed. I mean, I wouldn't think Bandai would just like shove that out there. I feel like they're trying to just.
I want
push
to know
popularity.
I just want to know like the actual name of that actual Gundam, because when it first showed images, everybody was calling it the GPO6, which heard about it, but yeah, even today's people still call that the GPO6. So yeah.
Yeah, it would almost be kind of like nice if they would just take like the Gundam Wiki's like summary on what it is and just put it in the manual. But I guess they kind of
done by individuals. Yeah.
Yeah, just very straightforward technical information. And next year will be the 30th anniversary of War in the Pocket.
Ah, okay, so
Okay,
that
there
would
you
make
go.
sense what I just said.
So we
Nice.
may.
I don't really keep track of the years, so
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
every
like-
year it's like an anniversary for something.
Yeah, you think about it, it's like so many things have come out. Like I wouldn't have thought that, but yeah, kind of, yeah, that makes sense. Like I think Await the Mess Team had an anniversary recently too, and
Oh.
I don't remember what it was, but yeah, Double O, yeah.
Double O.
I mean, Code Geass by the same measure, I think it's like what 10, 12 years old now. It's like, how is this old now? I feel old.
Come on, marker.
So before I guess we start kind of ending things out, someone else might join us real quick here on the tail end of this. I wanted to do a segment on the podcast, and Boomsy's already kind of done this as well, and I'd seen Kurosama had talked about doing a video series about something similar, but I kind of wanted to do a kind of a favor, like a shout out of any YouTube person or any social media person that you've been watching a lot lately. Preferably if it's Gunpla, but I know recently I've been obsessed with cooking videos, so they'll probably shout that out. But we'll go down the list here. Boomsy, why don't you start us off?
Oh yeah, if you guys want to pull that link back up for Amazing Night 378 again, he's a very young YouTuber. He started because he saw us kind of evolving. He actually watches like half of our channels on top of that, and he started like his own kit channel. He does unboxing and reviews. He was actually the winner of my first giveaway.
Nice.
Aside from that, I mean, I just been following pretty much everybody here on your own YouTube channels and any blogs that you guys do as well. I would definitely highly recommend. Everybody here has got their own style. You know, maybe my style doesn't fit you, but somebody else's will. I would highly recommend that. Following wise, haven't really been following anybody like particularly. I just been looking for more people to pull into the community and like kind of get the message out there for new builders that are kind of intimidated, to let them know it's not that bad. Just get a basic kit and just start building, kind of thing.
Awesome. And I've got Amazing Night pulled up here as well, so people in the stream will see him. Charlie, what about you?
Well, when I first started this YouTube thing, I have watched a lot of other channels like Prime 92, Jabman 025, the famous guys.
Yeah.
But once I started doing this YouTube thing myself, I've also got to know some other people who were kind of similar on the similar situation as me. So one of them was called. I think he's also a kid. His channel name is like MJ2005 Gundam as well. I've seen some of his videos. He sometimes like messaged me, and he does review some premium Bandai kits, and also like other new kits that comes out pretty early, which was pretty much the same tactic I used at the time. Yeah, despite his age, I'm kind of surprised like how he does his review. And then the other one is like Free Hunter 45, because like getting into the review section. He's also in the whatchamacallit in our Facebook group as well. So yeah, I tend to support him as well. And he's doing like a giveaway for his first 100 like subscribers thing. So yeah.
Awesome.
Oh,
Awesome.
nice.
It's cool to see other people out there that you're just like, oh, I've never heard of this person. And you get to kind of go through their backlog and check everything out. It's always fun to binge watch people's YouTube videos. What about you, Fate? Who have you been kind of keeping up with, or who do you want to shout out? Oh, you might be muted. We're not hearing anything.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything either.
Same here.
She's not on mute, but Fate, you there?
Yeah, we're still here. All right.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
there.
you go.
I think it's a connection thing. Well, let's see. I am. Let's see. I can feature my good friend Terminus Hobbies. I actually invited him to join us in the group today for the broadcast. So I don't know if he can make it. He's doing a lot of reviews for Converge kits.
Yeah.
So, and also some Tomika. So that's one, Terminus Hobbies, and Feel Good Gunpla. He's also part of our Facebook group. He does a lot of video reviews, some customization as well. And those are just the top two that I can think of on the top of my head. So that's for me.
Awesome. We got pulled both of those guys up as well, so they will get some screen time. And we
There
will
you go.
definitely work on getting Terminus in here next time, as long as timing works for him.
Sure,
What about you, Brian?
The one that I actually watch a lot is Gunpla Network channel. Yeah, it's especially that one segment, Jim's Hangar. It's an interesting setup that they have there. Yeah, that's
Definitely
in
already
that group as well. Gunpla Network
Yeah.
group as well.
Yeah, I'm actually one of their moderators as well, but I just moderate. I'm not involved in their YouTube channels and other works.
Okay.
Awesome.
Everyone, everyone's okay there? Foxy?
Yeah, good. Actually,
Yeah.
I want to. Well, this is. I don't think he needs a big shout out because he has a lot of followers. But
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot from one of these guys that I'm following, a Bunker Plaw, because I kind of like his style for customization. So I'm learning a lot, like from highlighting the kits, because I'm recently trying to get into customizing and painting. So I'm watching a lot of those kinds of channels right now. So big shout out to those guys. Thank you for uploading and sharing.
It's always cool to see and learn from everybody's how they do things and everything. Like speaking of Gunpla Network, they did their painting pilot figures for Real Grade and Master Grade, and that was actually super helpful because I wanted to go back and touch up some of mine. So that was cool to see. And what about you, Mobile Suit Hanger?
Oh yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the Gunpla Space Factory. He does not have a Facebook account or a Facebook page, but we usually talk on Twitter. He's one of my earliest supporters, and I really love his paint videos. He's completed an HG Leo paint video and also an HG Exia video. He really did the Exia well because like the GN blades. I know those are white plastics, and he made it into chrome, which resembles the real grade GN blades. It's really nice. Yeah, that's the Gunpla Space Factory. What else? Oh, I also want to give a shout out to one of our members. His name is Reggie Smith.
Yay,
He also
Reggie.
does.
Hello, Reggie.
Yeah.
Yee.
He also does video reviews, so it's cool.
Yeah, I've seen him post on the group a couple times. It's definitely cool to see people from Facebook on YouTube and vice versa. I know that's what the whole thing's about, but it's still a neat feeling. And to round us out, what about you, Zappa?
Shout outs to me for completing this gold sumo during the recording. But
Good job.
I'm not really keeping up with like anybody in particular, like low tier or high tier, except for most of you guys. So shout outs to all of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, especially like Spicer and Boomsy, since I probably wouldn't even be in this group here now without you guys, like getting everyone together bit by bit. But
I'm glad that we did actually get everyone together. You said from podcasting in the past, I know scheduling in multiple time zones is a nightmare sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't have any other channels that I've been keeping up with. I have my Facebook group that I manage, my YouTube channel. So I'm like, I don't get a whole lot of time to watch other stuff since I'm recording stuff for like every day. So I guess once again, shout outs to everybody here in our group now, the Gunpla Youtubers, up on the rise, taking over the internet.
We're doing it one person at a time.
Yeah.
Taking over one
Right.
model at a time.
One
I love
band
that
I
line.
complain at a time. And I guess to round us out on that question or that kind of idea, Gunpla-wise, other than the people in this group, and then of course the bigger people like Mekakatsu and Kurosama and them. Yeah. I've been watching a lot of stupid cooking videos, which is weird because I don't cook. But I stumbled across this channel called You Really Suck at Cooking, and they're hilarious. They're actually recipes too, which is weird. But they're really funny. They poke fun at kind of some of the cooking aspects of cooking and kind of some of the stereotypes, and it's just fun. It's fun. Outside of that, that's kind of the only other thing that I've been watching outside of, like I said, the people around here. Because, like I said, I had to get that Moon Gundam review and unboxings, and I feel bad for not wanting to build it, but now I do. And actually, someone in the chat has asked us to give kind of a brief reintroduction to kind of talk about where we started with Gunpla. So we'll just go down the list. Your first kit, kind of how you got it. And then we'll kind of start wrapping things up. But Boomsy, go ahead and start us off.
All right. I was out with my uncle. He loves to build like model planes and stuff like that. Unfortunately, he has passed away. But we were out, and I was just getting into Gunpla. Gundam Wing was a big thing on Toonami, and I ended up getting the Death Sight because I was like, oh, sweet edgelord kind of thing, because I was an edgelord when I was younger. And so I got the really old kit from like the early 90s, 2000s for the Death Sight, the high grade, and that's really what started me. That kit got destroyed by my younger cousins. Shout out to Cooney if you're listening. And yeah, that's pretty much where it started.
Awesome. Always a good story to have a good backstory. What about you, Charlie?
Well, kind of similar. My first kit, in terms of Gunpla kit, was the no grade 1 to 144 scale heavy arms Gundam. I was on a, I think I was I was on a vacation in Singapore, and my parents took me to a toy shop, and then there was a whole section of like boxes that had like pictures of Gundam in it. Which that was a time where I didn't know what a molecule was. My parents bought me one, which I chose the heavy arms. Took it back to the hotel, opened it, and I saw plates. And my parents told me what that was, and I started building it. And first build was terrible. I broke a few fins. I broke a lot of stuff because no scissors, no nothing, just my hands. But from there, I kept building and building, and yeah, to the point where I became who I am right now.
And definitely that first kit's always the rough one.
Yeah,
it's an important part to the story.
Remaking that if I can, and just post it how it was as I remember.
That's it. There you go. You got to go back and do a retro build for yourself of how it looked when you did it the first
Do you
time.
still have it, Charlie?
No, it's non-existent.
Okay, you got to get the new one then and do a revive, man.
Oh, that's a lot of parts to
get
break.
The master grade endless waltz version and start breaking some fins off.
Oh man, this is fun.
What about you, Fate?
Well, my very first Gunpla was a petite bear guy. I think I told you guys about that the first time. And it was a green petite guy, which was also a terrible build first time. A lot of gaps, and I haven't gotten around to editing it or refining it. But the very first mecha I built was an Infinite Justice Gundam, mainly because it's pink, because I'm still a girl. Even though I love Gundams, and that's the one that started me off on my journey. It's like if I get past this little bear, I can build anything. So it is one of my very, very first ones. So from there, I've built a lot and collected a few more, and have tons of backlogs now. So it's been a good journey.
It's definitely that getting over the first one's just a huge deal for so many people, and a lot of us have different opinions on where to start, but really depending on the person, I definitely wouldn't feel bad for anyone starting anywhere, because once you get the feeling that you're done, it is good. High grade's a lot easier to get through, of course, but there are people who want more details, so they want a real grade. And, it's something that it's not too bad for everyone, and once you get past that first one, you're good to go.
True.
Brian, what about you?
Oh, my first kit, I can't even remember if it's a Bandai or a third-party bootleg kit. This is back in 97, 98. I think it was a Burning Gundam. When I was in elementary, that was the first one. I think I used scissors to trim it, build it. I think it was the first grade. And as an adult, my first kit is an L-Strike Gundam and an HG-1100, NG-1100 Vigna Gina and Vigna Sierra from F91. And I still got those, but the Burning Gundam is long gone. It was destroyed by my cousin, literally.
I get a feeling that's how all of these first kits are going to end up at some point.
Yep. I never saw it again. I feel bad. I got to find another one of those. And that's it. That's all I got.
Alrighty, what about you, Mobile Suit Hanger?
And I can like what I mentioned earlier. The first kit that I built was the no grade Gundam Leopard Destroy. My mom gave it to me, And yeah, I built a lot of no grade kits, 1/44th scale no grade kits that time. And then I think I stopped building when I was in college. And then last year, this woman, her name is Foxy Fate.
Who?
Who's that?
She gave me so earlier she said she built an Infinite Justice kit, and along with that is a Strike Freedom kit. This is not
I'm an
the
enabler.
revive version.
I'm an enabler.
She gave me the Strike Freedom, the earlier release, and started building again. And yeah, well, here in the Philippines, we call these kits poison. So she poisoned me. And,
I poisoned him with his strike, and he's such a fast builder. It's so unfair. Like he practically inhales a new kit in like 2 hours. It's so unfair.
No, well, I just realized that they weren't clean builds. So yeah, that's why that's why I build them fast. They're not clean. Yeah, so Fate gave the kit to me as a present because I just got confirmed that time as her
Yay.
supervisor.
Because he's an awesome
I think
boss.
that was it. Yeah. Thank you. Yay.
Yay.
There we go. Once again, another really good backstory. And what about you, Zappa?
So I have 2 phases, like a lot of us here, of Gunpla. The first one, like back when G and Wing were on TV, I got a no grade 144 Rose Gundam from a comic shop because I was an hour late to trying to learn how to play Magic the Gathering, so they canceled it, and I had to sit at the store.
Ravnica.
Had to sit at the store for like 2 hours waiting for my mom to come pick me back up. So I bought that instead of Magic cards. And my first whole collection was lost when I moved to a storage unit. Gone into the void. So when I picked up again, I think it's been almost 11 years ago, was the Master Grade Verka Ball.
Okay, yeah. It's a good
Well,
place to start again.
And then since then, I've probably built about 170 kits in the last 11 years.
That's a fair amount in that time frame.
Okay, good. I was afraid that was like, no, that's too many. You have problems, child.
Now, see, the real problem gets to when you're like, I've been building kits for this long. How can I only have like 12 on the shelf? And then you realize the vast majority are in a box or customs or parts of customs or no longer exist.
Yeah, when I see some of the like bigger YouTuber or not YouTubers, but bigger Gunpla people, and I see their backlogs, I'm like, why? Like that's so ridiculous. It's like hundreds of kits.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll have a long time to go.
Yeah, I'm running out of space for all of my boxes for things, and I don't want to break them down and turn them into a wallpaper.
yeah, I actually kind of flatten mine and store it somewhere, but I get a lot more myself. How about you guys?
Yeah, that's a good place to start. I guess we'll kind of go back through the rotation. What about you, Boomsy?
For boxes?
Yeah.
I just trash them.
What about you, Charlie?
Well, I guess this is the last part I can talk since I have to go out soon. But for me, I also have a lot of boxes in my room, but I tend to, for example, this is what I do. Like, let's say if there's like a normal HGUC Gym 2 box, and then I get like a premium Bandai version of the Gym 2 box and put stuff inside the premium Bandai box. Or sometimes if I just have too many boxes, I just scrap them as well.
Yeah, I definitely think that's where a lot of us end up going.
Yeah. And I think I have to go now. Thank you for having me, and hopefully we can have this chat or conversation once more.
Oh, absolutely. Look forward to it. Hopefully, we'll try to do it at least monthly, if not every 2 weeks.
Definitely.
Be safe.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
Have a good one.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie.
And what about you, Fate?
What do I mean? My boxes, I put them in in the basement. I don't know what to do with the runners either, but I haven't thrown any of them out. So my backlogs are still a lot, and it keeps on growing. It's like Hydra, cut off one head, another two grow in its place. So storage is a problem right now.
It's definitely how it works, I'd imagine.
Yeah, some of my stuff are in the office, but because that's where I have them delivered. But I'm gonna take them home, and I'm gonna figure out where to place everything else.
It's definitely its own challenge to figure out where to put everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So that's for me.
What about you, Brian? What do you do with your boxes?
Before I actually flatten them properly, I actually put them in a box. But as the time goes by, I kind of just store them in my storage here. It's grown out of control. The runners was in the box also, but it's actually gone out of control as well. Actually got runners right now right beside my feet from 4 or 5 kits that I haven't even cleaned yet. My work area is a complete mess right now. I feel like I've been thinking about doing a special projects for the runners, but I never got the chance.
Yeah, it's always that thing. It starts out as a good idea, and then you just never make the time because it's very time consuming.
Yeah, that's the whole situation I got. I think a lot of us are in that situation, or am I the only one?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Nope, I feel you.
What about you, Mobile Suit Hanger? What do you do with your boxes?
They're just here at home. I just stack them up. I don't think I have a lot of boxes. Wait, let me check. Oh shoot, I have a lot.
I just realized it.
Yeah, I just realized it. It's sitting here at one corner of my mom's room. And my backlogs are in our room, my wife and I. So, yeah, I think I don't plan to do anything with the boxes yet. So we're just gonna sit here for a while.
And what about you, Zappa?
I still have all of my boxes mostly in the top of my closet. I've got a space for about like 10 more. I've got my P Bandai boxes sitting on another shelf under most of my builds. And a few of them like they're stacked inside each other. When I have like a master grade, it's like, oh, I can put a high grade box of the same thing, or stuff a similar SD into a high grade box. But I keep them all because at some point when I actually get tired of looking at my straight build on the shelf, I'll put it up for resale so someone else can have some enjoyment from what I've done. Maybe they want it for a kit bash or something. So I send them everything, the box, all the extra parts and stuff. That way, for me as a completionist, I have everything, and when I pass that on, they still have everything.
Makes sense. It's a good idea. I, much like Boomsy and Charlie and a lot of almost everyone in this group, I've pretty much throw them away. I used to at one point decorate the walls with them, which was kind of cool, but just at this point I don't have the wall space anymore, and I'd rather look at the actual kit than the box. It's cool though. Yeah, just put a thumbtack or a nail through the back of the box, slide the front case on, and kind of a neat looking little thing. But yeah, so before we kind of start actually literally wrapping this up, Nate from the Edmonton Gunpla group wanted to say hi. Brian?
Hello, sir.
He thought it was cool someone he knew in real life was on YouTube and doing things, so he wanted to say hello. So there you go, Brian. The Edmonton Gunpla group is out in force. They're showing you appreciation.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you so much.
Go. Small world. And then Feel Good Gunpla had also posted a picture of one of the things they're working on. Let me drag that over. This little SD Age 3 Fortress. Once again, Age has some good designs. And lastly, most definitely not least, Plot Motion Productions was not able to make it today. However, they did want to let us know that they do intend to be here in the future and wanted to kind of get a shout out. So I figured, why not give them a shout out? Definitely check out everyone you've seen today. I will try to make sure all of the links for everyone we've seen throughout the entire thing will be in the description of this video when you watch it on YouTube. And that will bring us into our kind of final things we want to say to our sign-off segment. And once again, we will start with Boomsy.
Just want to go back to what I was talking about for anybody that's getting new into community or wanting to build. Just go ahead and pick up a kit that you think looks cool and pick up, your beginner cutter kit. They're like $20 on Amazon. You can get your files, your cutters, your blades, and everything like that, and just go for it. And other than that, thanks for all the support. Make sure you check out everybody in this podcast. We're all, supporting each other, and everybody's awesome. And I guess my closing statement would be the same as my videos. Take it easy and peace.
Awesome. And what about you, Foxy Fate?
Well, I want to thank everybody who's supporting my channel as well, and everybody here as well. You've all been so nice, and I guess what I can say for anybody who's interested in building Gunpla, just go start, grab a kit, and build it, and never be afraid to ask questions. Because although somebody mentioned that there are some really mean ones out there who's going to troll and say bad things about your work, but a majority of our community are really awesome. They're very supportive, and by just asking questions and watching their channels, you'll be learning a lot. So just keep on going and just be happy with the hobby and enjoy yourselves.
Awesome. And what about you, Brian?
I want to thank everyone for supporting my channel and every other channel. Thank you guys for listening to me. Really appreciated. And there's one thing I got to say is have fun, relax, and enjoy Gunpla. And if you know anyone that is kind of down, depressed, approach them, introduce them into the hobby. That is a great way for them to get out of that slump. And that's all I got. Thank you guys. Much appreciated.
Awesome. And what about you, Mobile Suit Hanger?
All right. So first, I would like to ask everyone to stay tuned on my next video, because I will be doing this is be my first travel blog. We're gonna go to Taiwan this week. Special shout out to my wife, who's always been supporting me. She said this is gonna be my birthday gift. She said we're gonna go to Gundam Base, Taiwan, and I'll be doing yeah, I know. Yeah, I'll be doing something like a where to go to if you plan to shop in Taiwan. What are the best Gunpla shops where you're gonna get the most affordable kits? So yeah, I'll be doing that. in the coming weeks. And I think that's pretty much it for my channel. I'm looking forward to building more kits and doing more review videos. So yeah, thank you so much.
That is awesome. Very excited to look forward to that. And what about you, Zappa?
I guess more or less just shout outs to my Gunpla group on Facebook, Plebpla. For as much as we've all had stories about people
Yay.
who come through and troll, it's a place for everyone of any build level, from you and your kids' first kit to people who are entering Gunpla Builders World Cup. It's just super supportive, and even after over a year, I've only had 2 trolls. 2 entire trolls after a year, and some like working on 3,000 worldwide members. So it's getting kind of overwhelming for
Wow.
me and my 3 cosplay teammates. But
Yay, proud member here.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm pretty. Yeah, Spicer, I think you're a member too.
Oh yeah, I am.
But yeah,
Anywhere I can post my shitty parodies, I will.
indeed. And I'm glad that our contest went as well as it did. I don't know when our next milestone's going to be or what we're going to do for it, but shipping international is expensive.
You and Boomsy feel the same pain.
Yeah.
Hurts
But
my wallet.
very much so. Fortunately, I get to split that cost 3 ways.
There you go. It's not as bad.
But yeah, shout outs to Plebpla, shout outs to you guys, shout outs to the YouTubes, and as always, Jig Geog.
There you go. And to round us out, as always, everyone who stopped by, everyone who's participated, regardless whether it's just through chat or through the verbal portion of this, I'm definitely appreciative for everyone swinging by. And if you guys are wanting to watch this on after the fact, I guess you're already watching this if you're listening to this part, but whatever. You can find it on both my channel, The Spicer, and I believe Access Communications and Entertainments is going to have it. Is that right, Zappa?
Yeah, I've got a backup for it, and I can upload it onto my channel too.
There you go. So definitely look out for that on both our channels. Anyone else who's participated is more than welcome to put it on their channel as well. And of course, everyone who has participated, definitely go check them out. Much like Boomsy said earlier, we all have different styles, so somebody might work a little bit better for what you're wanting than others. Especially me right now, if you want a bunch of action figures and no model kits, that's what you're going to get for a while. So to look forward to that, I guess. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, everybody. Thanks for participating, everybody. And we will see you in either 2 weeks or 4 weeks. We'll figure that out later. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you later.
All right, bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Masters of Voices. Bye.